the fact that the alleged chief economist, who is now the Prime Minister of Canada, and speaks in such a condescending tone to every reporter who asks the guy a confrontational question in any way. The guy's reminds me of Mr. Burns. This guy never gets questioned on the fact that from about 1947 to 2015, Canada's immigration rate was on average 0.5% of the population per year. All of a sudden, Trudeau gets elected, it jumps up to about 1.3 by 2020. So from 0.5% a year to 1.3, a major jump. We were already seeing it hurt Canadians economically. Then all of a sudden, at post-pandemic, it jumps from 1.3% to 3% population growth per year. In Canada now, 26.4% of the population, that's more than 1 in 4 people in the country, are a first-generation immigrant, and the economic impacts have been disastrous. When you combine it with the green policies that the Liberal Party has enacted, Canada's youth unemployment rate among males is 22%. Real unemployment rate is about 10%. GDP per capita, which is considered the best measure of how your average citizen is doing, since the year 2015 when Trudeau was elected, GDP per capita in the US has grown on average 2% per year. This is generally considered to be the best overall measure of how your average citizen is doing, how much spending power they have. In Canada, that same period of time since 2015, the US growing 2% a year. Canada in total has grown 0.2% GDP per capita, not on a yearly basis, in total. And this is undoubtedly due. The two major economic contributors are the mass unprecedented immigration, and Canada had a great immigration system until Trudeau opened it up to everybody. It's so obvious walking around Canada. So many immigrants are working jobs as Uber drivers and at Tim Hortons, and just taking jobs that Canadians traditionally took. And Carney has cheerleaded this policy on, along with cheerleading these green initiatives that get him and his buddies at Brookfield Asset Management rich as hell. Brookfield stock price is up 45% since Carney was elected. He has over 600 investments, over 90% of which are in the US. Look at the LNG deal that they just signed. A lot of that money is US money. Carney's getting himself rich. He's clearly not working on the behalf of the average Canadian citizen. His continued combination of unprecedented immigration and these green initiatives, refusing to build pipelines, mentions all this major infrastructure deal, and there's no pipeline, despite the fact that Canada only emits between 1.5% to 2% of all of the world's CO. We have to abide by these insane restrictions on our own economy that we know are going to make the Canadian people poor, so that we can virtue signal. Carney's up there talking about how climate change is a major focus of his administration. Meanwhile, the economic situation in Canada continues to get worse and worse. It is not speculative. We have the real world data to know that these green initiatives are handicapping our economy, and then they're going to want to bring things in like carbon emissions. You're only allowed to drive a certain period of distance of time, everything on a digital ID, only be able to eat a certain level of meat. These people are fundamentally authoritarian in their thinking. They think they're out to save the planet. And this type of kind of group thinking of having one set of oppressed people and one set of oppressors does not end well. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member. Sure.